then Darin moved here in 2005. In 2006, we told our bishops about our relationship, and that summer, Darin was dropped from the clergy roster of the ELCA, and the bishop of this synod filed formal charges against me. So that was difficult, but it was also a time filled with great blessing, because there was so much support and affirmation that we received during that time, and didn't really know it at the time, but in the end we're playing an important role in moving the whole Lutheran Church forward.
Reality of the former policy, or is it all the folks that just sort of quietly disappeared or removed from the roster, go to another church or leave the church altogether? And so it's kind of the silent stories alongside the very public realities of a church trial, but also trusting that our story did make a difference in helping the church to move forward. It provided a concrete example and context for people to engage the conversations about change and about full welcome. And I think anytime people are able to hear personal stories and to see vibrant ministry that's taking place in places like St. John's, that it really makes a difference to everyone else in the conversation and in the church.
I think the trial made the injustice of the old policy very clear to a lot of people. Well, during the time in between, I continued to be the pastor here at St. John's, and throughout the trial and afterwards, our ministry was the same. This congregation has worked very hard to be a place that's open to everyone, that serves its neighborhood, that takes care of the poor. So we continued to grow, and in a sense we thrived during that time and afterwards. And then we're really grateful when finally in 2009 the church did change the policy, which opened the door to our reinstatement. Even though we always acted like we were part of the ELCA and that this ministry between pastor and congregation was very alive and vibrant, the denomination itself listed the congregation as vacant, which in a sense means in their mind that there was no functioning pastor present. Although what was surreal is that the church didn't do anything to fill that position, So in one sense, it recognized that ministry was going on.
Well, I think the blessing is that sort of our faith is the foundation of our relationship. We met at a church convention, a church meeting. As Brad says, the dream of every parent or every mother to have their child meet, their soulmate at a church event. But thankfully, that's really deepened and sustained us through all of this. I think just feeling the love and support of first our families, our friends, all those throughout the church and beyond that really lifted us up in their prayers and thoughts, and to share with us sort of those stories of hope of how they are encouraged, through all these changes and developments in the church, and to know that we've been a part of that is an amazing blessing.
Well, there was an immediate, overwhelming standing ovation on Sunday morning when the reinstatement news was announced. I think for the whole congregation, it felt like a really important crowning moment on the journey that we've been through together. And the room was just filled with excitement and celebration that morning.